Shaun, the Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 190. This is your host, Shaun Tudor.
And this is Sam.
And AJ.
What's up, guys?
Oh, this is a talk episode where we just hang out.
Nice. And what's the point of this?
We're going to talk about REI-Con.
Yeah.
Review it.
Love it.
See how you two did.
You let us know.
I thought you guys did great. I honestly thought it was great.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. It was so smooth. I loved the little breaks in between speakers because we didn't really have that at like previous events we've gone to. And it was just like a lot of information. And then it was just like, here's another person to shove information at. So I did like the little breaks in between people. Plus then if people went over too, you had the time to control the timeline again.
So, I don't remember if we talked about it the last time I was on, but did we talk about how that whole process started? Like how REI-Con even came to be?
I don't think so. Did we?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
We talked about a little bit what it
Yeah.
was. So it was a real estate investment conference. So that's the REI.
Mm-hmm.
But
That fucking dog's just fucking throwing shit around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead.
So I've wanted to do one for quite some time. And we just got done talking. We got talking about it, and I asked you if you'd ever be interested in. Kind of weren't so sure at first, and then it was, screw it, let's just put it out there that we're doing it, and we did. Around December, I think.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Threw it out there, and I was like, well, shit, now we literally have no choice. We got to do it because we're telling people we're doing it. So we started putting it together, and really, I don't think we really started hammering on it until probably about 2 months before we had it, which is kind of a big learning point there. I mean, it took a lot of work to get it done. But overall, I think it went pretty well. We got some good sponsors on board. Had great speakers. Like I was
Oh, so good.
amazed at the speakers.
And it was so nice because we've seen 3 of them.
Yeah.
And it like still was. I still learned so much from those 3.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, like, going off what AJ was saying, when you first brought it up to me, I was like, man, does that sound like some fucking extra work? I was like, that'll be a chore. And then, I don't know, eventually I was just like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, then I think we talked about, well, we already do a monthly event, right? So
Yeah.
it can't be that much more. And holy crap, it was.
I think that was, like, actually the conversation. We were like, oh, dude, we already do this every month, so it can't be much harder. We were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We were very wrong. But that's all right. But so, got the event going, which was really good. And then, all the speakers and how they played off each other was great.
Phenomenal.
And it was nice because even like I was in back taking notes the whole time.
When I wasn't talking to you.
When AJ wasn't talking to me. and I was able to like, I could like clearly see how they were building off each other. And like, they even would say, like, they would reiterate like what the previous speaker said. They had that shit in their slide. They'd reiterate what the previous speaker said and then tied it right into their talks.
Yeah, which I think was huge because none of the speakers had sat down.
Mm-mm.
We didn't sit down with the speakers all ahead of time and like go over it. We started out with Audrey due to vision, which was huge. I think that was very well received. And I don't know if I told you this. One of the speakers came up to me and actually said, AJ, that was huge. Definitely need to reevaluate how I'm running my business. I'll tell you who it was afterwards. And I told Audrey who it was and that it happened. She was like, wow, that's huge to hear.
Oh, yeah.
Another speaker at an event, like literally having an aha moment about what they're doing with their life.
Yeah.
And how their business really isn't running according to what their vision truly is.
Yep.
So that was huge. Kind of go back just a little bit. Honestly, if anyone's thinking about doing something, just launch the damn thing, get it done, try it, take notes of what went good, what didn't go so great. Like we did right afterwards, sat down, what didn't go good. But back to the speakers. What's up, Mimi? Just it flowed so well, and I loved, like you said, each speaker gave credibility to the previous speaker.
Yeah.
Just, again, like you said, reiterating what they had talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
Yeah, it was even cool because, like, the one kind of outlier was Mike in his talk about my multifamily. But even he tied into, like, even he had a portion in his talk of, like, remember, do what you want to do, though. And, like, you have to do it by your vision. And then he referred back to Audrey. And he also referred to Mark about time and stuff throughout the process. And just knowing, like, what your criteria is, knowing what your, key focus is. So it was cool to even see, like, the one outlier we chose to be a little more, like, broad, bigger picture still was tied in with everything.
Mm-hmm. It was so cool. That was, like, probably the best flowing event we've ever gone to.
Yeah. Yeah, it made the most sense for sure.
Yeah, a lot of the events we go to, it's just like random speakers. Just like, oh, who can we get for this event? Okay, we'll have them talk about whatever they want to talk about. So that was really cool, I thought.
That's really true.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that, I mean, we had so many compliments on how that did flow. But also it was like very real estate heavy. But everything that was talked about could have been implemented in any business, right?
Oh,
So,
dude.
again,
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, it could have. And that I told my mom when she wanted to, she's like, oh, do I need to be there? I was like, no, you don't need to be there, but you're a foreman, so you should be there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want to be a better manager? Then you should be there. She's like, oh, shit.
Did you talk to her afterwards?
Yeah.
And
She was, like, very beneficial. Got a lot of information out of it, and a lot of things, like, she hadn't been thinking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, she didn't know how. After the event, she wasn't sure how she was going to bring that back and tie it into work. And so she had to, like, think about that, which makes sense. But I should follow up with her now and see if those things, if she's been able to identify.
It's one thing I wish my wife would have went to because she's an administrator in a school.
Mm-hmm.
And she's needs to be hands-on with everything.
Mm-hmm.
She has a hard time delegating. But then she brings that all home with her, right? So with not being able to delegate, obviously it all falls on your shoulders because, so that's something she's definitely knows she needs to work on. Mm-hmm. But again, going to an event like that where, okay, what is the first thing, maybe you can't automate it obviously in that field, but what is the first thing that you, like to hand off? What isn't in your wheelhouse maybe, or what just is a huge time suck?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Well, Sam and I are in a CCV coaching group with Rob Bailey. And he actually talked about that 2 or 3 weeks ago on a call. He said that he actually he only does once a week meetings now with his, like, CEOs and management team because he said they used to do it a lot more. And he would just try to touch everything. And he's like, when I touch everything, I fuck it up. Mm-hmm. So he's like, that's the reason we only do once a week now. They have to figure shit out through the rest of the week. They have other managers. They have other CEOs throughout the companies they can talk to. They don't need me until next Monday.
Yeah, I remember it was in the 4-hour work week that they talk about meetings literally being the hugest waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because 90% of content in a meeting is truly irrelevant.
I think they do talk about that in 4-hour work week.
Yeah, and Andy Frisella talks about that all the time too.
A real AF?
Yeah, about like how and he tells his employees if they're in a meeting and it just doesn't seem to pertain to them, they could just get up and leave.
Musk does that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're in a meeting with Elon Musk and it doesn't pertain to you, leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Andy said in his meetings, no meeting should ever be more than 15 minutes long.
Right.
Unless it's a brainstorming, but that's not really a meeting. It's like brainstorming and coming up with shit. But like a real meeting never should be 15 minutes, should be 10 minutes or less.
Oh, yeah.
Which is so true.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I don't know how many times like I have meetings with my team and like they just get so off track because they're all friends. So we just get off track so easily.
Dude.
And then it's like an hour later. I'm like, okay, we should really get back to work now.
It's so bad. And honestly, it should almost be like, in a situation like that, like, let's freaking get the meeting done, and then we can go out to lunch together or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, let's bang this shit up while I'll go out and grab pizza later or whatever.
Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. It's a good idea.
I'm here for you, babe.
Well, so what else was a hit before we start talking about
Oh,
all the
yeah.
misses?
Dude, so the sponsors, I really like the sponsors we had. Very thankful for all of them that came out, especially Legends for helping us out with the main sponsor. That was awesome. And they gave us a shit ton of goodies, which is sick.
Huge, yeah. So throwing an event like that, just like anything, right? You think of the big ticket items, right? So for like that as food. I think food was, so the event alone was $2,200
Yeah.
for the venue, the food, everything else. But you don't really think of. I know we did talk about folders right off the bat, but when we looked at folders, that's almost $700.
Yeah.
For folders, and that's not including. I guess that was including some of the artwork on it.
Yeah.
Legends turned around and was like, literally walked in their office and to grab the vertical sign, and it takes me in the back and like folders and pens and those little frisbees. It was just like, take whatever you need. Like, again, like relationships, that is why relationships matter.
100%.
Not just jumping around to whoever's cheapest or easiest or whatever else, because I'm pretty committed. Obviously I can't always control where closings happen in real estate, but if I can control it, it's happening at Legends.
Yeah.
For one, it's easy. Two, they're always there to help.
Yeah, Kyle and I got one. We're closing there on the 15th of May for a property, and they're just great. Like, I called them, sent them the shit they needed, and then I just didn't hear from them again. And they just like called me, "Hey, ready for closing?" I'm like, "This is the coolest shit ever."
Yeah.
Like, who? They're like, "Who's signing?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Kyle and I." They're like, "Okay, perfect. Yep, we'll have it ready." They're like, "I'll call your lender and set a time." I'm like, "Love it. This is the best."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's super cool. They just make sure the shit's gonna be ready on time.
Yep.
They follow.
Then we had Eva.
Yep, Eva.
Graham Tax. So.
Yeah, Graham Tax and Accounting. And she went up and spoke a little bit, which is good. Hopefully she got some business from that. And then Denise was staging, design and staging, elevated spaces, which was good. I know she was talking to, because she hosts Airbnbs too. She was talking to a guy about possibly hosting his Airbnb.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully that pans out. I think that'd be really good. And then Darren Carr.
Yep, Car Talent. Yep.
Yeah.
So Car Talent is basically an agency that looks at your business individually and helps you, build the team, hand off stuff that is easy to hand off. So they really look at each business individually to help get that handoff going, whatever makes sense for each individual business, which is pretty cool. So essentially like a talent agency for businesses.
That's really cool.
To get your shit off your plate.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that guy was a hoot. Darren was so cool, so nice.
Yeah, that's another huge thing. Just the speakers were all super down to earth, which we knew most of them. I guess we didn't know. I had never met in person Dan Schwartz, but it's like, and just watching all them talk with each other and shit. I think Dan was at the bar till 9 o'clock that night, just hanging out.
That's awesome.
8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever it was.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it's cool. Who else do we have?
We
Badger.
had Brookfield Badger Insurance. Did I tell you what? I love when you link up with an agency or a person and they just like get shit done right away, and they're like professional, they do it. And I referred somebody to them. They called me thanking me for the referral, and then I was like, "Hey, are you interested in sponsoring?" And they're like, "Yeah, I'll get it sent over to the owner." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet, thank you." And then the owner's like, "Hey, we can't get a rep there, but we'll sponsor." I was like, "Shit, that's awesome." So sent me like their QR code and stuff, and but just like you said, building a relationship, because I first started using them a couple years ago, and I gave them a bunch of business for group homes, and it ended up saving us a ton of money because we went from like 3 different places with our insurance to getting it all under one company. Dude, we cut our insurance down by like 2/3. We're paying 1/3 of the amount when we went to there.
Wow.
And then I brought them. This is what like got me over everything else. Every time I go to add a flip to my policy, it's just a fucking headache, dude. Any company I use, it's just a headache to add a flip. I talk to Vicky, I kind of like let her know about what I got going on. And she's just like, oh, well, do you just want to be on our flipping program? I was like, the fuck you talking about? She's like, oh, yeah, like we just have an insurance policy for flippers. And then like covers your extra materials. It covers your ARV based on like the work you had completed and stuff. I was like, what the fuck?
Is it like a big umbrella policy? Or?
No, so it's like it's per the unit. But how they do it is they insure it based on ARV. Because then it's the same thing as like when I go do my lending. With my lending, I send them like everything we're going to do to the project and how it currently sits. So I do the same thing with insurance, and they just insure it off of ARV, but they only cover to like whatever spot it was done.
Right.
So like if I'm 3/4 of the way done and something happens, it gets covered up to that.
I think that's what a lot of people don't look at for flipping is a lot of times it's going to be insured at your purchase price.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to stay up on that. That's a huge thing.
Absolutely.
If something burned down halfway through, you don't have cost of coverage. It might be terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because...
And I suppose, too, if you have, like, materials or supplies, like, stolen, would that cover that?
Mm-hmm.
That's super nice.
So I have that also covered under my contractor's policy. But the thing is when we got 2-3 projects going at a time, it really only covers one. And so to have that so that it's per each property makes it so much better.
Yeah.
And so,
That's
yeah.
nice.
No, I just, that company's been really great. I was super happy they could do it. And they're interested. They're actually going to be our, like, rep that we refer all of our renters to for renters insurance because we require renters insurance.
Yep.
And so that way we can just... But so, yeah, with Brookfield and then Mitch Dam Photography.
Yeah. Mitch is a little stud.
Yeah.
He's a good kid.
He had all that shit back to us in, like, a day or two.
Yeah, so we're waiting for videos, but we have all the we have the pictures. He said it'll probably be a couple weeks for the videos. So what he's doing for that is we had the whole thing he videoed. So what was he there? He was there from 8 to
10 hours maybe.
Yeah, he was there the full day. It's crazy. Well, I think he left right away.
Oh yeah, so I
but
suppose
still,
8 to 4:15.
still, he was there for a full day.
Yeah.
Taking video of the whole thing, pictures throughout the whole thing. So it'd be fun to get those videos back. He's going to do a bunch of snippets for us too that we can use for marketing for the next event. And then all the speakers are like super amped up that it was going to be all recorded, and they'd be able to use those snippets, those little short clips as well.
Yeah, dude, think about it for them. Like, they now, like, once we get that to them, they'll have social media material for a year. Mm-hmm. Just like randomly throwing it in here and there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which is, that's really good for them. Yeah. So.
And then Paul Wilkes, the DJ, dude, like, so I knew he was going to take care of stuff because he did our wedding. And for a wedding, you're worried about everything. And it was literally so smooth. He had everything taken care of. We had an acoustic singer at our wedding. So we did it down at Rod and Gun Park. Mm-hmm. So the outdoor venue, he had everything set up there. Like, we thought literally about nothing. He took care of it all. So then, he was actually there before me on Saturday morning for the event. Had everything set up. He's like, all right. Basically, I got there and he's like, all right, this is how it's going to go. He had the little lapel mics. If that doesn't work, then I got a backup mic for him on the stage. Something goes down with the whole system throughout the building. The speakers quit working in the building. I have another mic that would work for the speaker he had. It's like, dude, you're like 3 levels deep on everything covered.
Dang.
So he had all that figured out, mic'd up everyone, had the batteries switched out. Again, we were going all day long, so batteries all to be switched out. And yeah, just a rock star.
Played music in between all the speakers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he has that kick-ass DJ voice that's like,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as he talks, you're like, whoa, someone's speaking. You know, it just makes you pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That dude, Paul was sweet. Super.
So let's talk. I guess that could be our first area of
Yeah.
improvement, right? That's one thing that.
Yeah,
One of
use
the
him more.
Yeah.
Use
Use
Yeah.
him way more.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're not MCs.
Right.
You know, we can introduce speakers. We can do all that.
Yep.
But as far as, and I don't know what my problem was. I was kind of nervous and speaking fast and just ready to get the next speaker up and
Mm-hmm.
get on break, get back from lunch, or whatever. So that portion wasn't very engaging. Like, kind of looking back,
Right. Mm-hmm.
could have been more engaging with people.
Yep.
And I think most of the time for our monthly things, that goes just fine.
Yeah.
But at that event, for whatever reason, now we've got that many more people than we did.
Right. But it's also the layers. There's so many layers to this one.
Right. But using him to do the amp up, and
Mm-hmm.
like again, he has the kick-ass DJ voice.
Mm-hmm.
So utilizing that more.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if we would have been like, hey, Paul, do this, you'd be like, yep, got it.
Yep.
Because there's times where I'd be like, hold up, 5 fingers for 5 minutes before we get started. And he would cut in and let everyone know 5 minutes. It's just, so that's a good area to improve there.
Yep.
Utilizing that. What else do we have?
Well, and I was even telling Shaun, like, we've gone to some events where, like, the hosts weren't even the emceeing or, like, talking at all. I mean, they were, like, the speakers,
Mm-hmm.
but, because it was the Arate that we went to. It was Andy's wife that was the MC and introducing everyone and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys could just come out, introduce yourselves, and talk a little bit, and then let Paul do everything if you wanted.
Yeah. I like up until introducing the speakers, because I just...
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing because then we almost like break up the flow. And so I think if we were to go on and we were to do the introduction in the beginning, why we're there, thanking everyone for coming out, thanking sponsors, and then let the MC take over from there. And then at like what I was thinking at like lunch or something, we could do like you and I could go up and talk together, do like a Q&A or something, right? So that like we are still, people realize we're the ones hosting,
Right.
and keeping them engaged and stuff on like a lunch break and doing that kind of thing to get like feedback of how everyone's liking the speakers. So I was thinking we could do that at like lunch and at the end.
Yeah.
For the next event.
And not, obviously being in training for 14 plus years, leading large group stuff, like I can provide energy, like I know how, but for whatever reason for that, you don't think that way, and you need to think that way because you do need to keep people engaged, make it fun, not be monotone like Sam likes to point out.
Yeah, Sam's always fucking like, oh, you guys just talk like you're pissed, and I'm like, well, we are.
The beginning of every meeting, it's just like,
hey guys, how's it
All
going?
right.
here
We're
we
gonna do
are,
better.
here's our sponsors, here's the fees.
Like, all right, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, we could do that.
Like,
Get
you
a
never
little
know.
crazy.
I'm sure people would enjoy it.
Probably.
So good room for improvement there.
Ooh, one thing I suggested to Shaun was, because we were there obviously the night before setting up anyways, doing like a pre-party thing.
We talked about this, doing almost a VIP.
Yeah.
We could take the speakers out to eat, but obviously if we're doing, even do $50 whatever, come up with $1 amount. We just hang out the night before. Speakers are gonna be out for they're coming in.
Yeah.
Get some free food. Maybe even go somewhere else. I don't know that we do it at Metropolis again.
No.
I just flow. Like you walk in the building, like where the hell do I go? Right next to the go-karts. That was loud.
I was there. There were some definite perks there, and the staff was super nice. They were super nice, but I mean, we ran into a lot of hiccups there. They claimed they were going to have us set up a certain way. It wasn't set up. We even touched base with them the night before. Hey, we need these couple things set up here. Didn't happen. Next day, we ended up having to help the lady set up
Right.
a bunch of stuff to like keep it going because it was only her. And I'm like, I'm not making you set up all these
Right.
tables and chairs by yourself. We'll be here all damn day. And so that kind of stuff, and then like
The coffee.
taking the coffee away. We'd run out of coffee, and they'd be like, "Are you just done with coffee?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Are we done with coffee? Like, keep
It's
that
a-
coffee here all goddamn day."
Right.
It is
We
a business
paid-
event.
Yeah. And we paid for way more coffee than what we got, I think.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure it might, I have to check, it might be kind of industry policy, but the whole thing with the food, if you don't use it, you lose it,
Yeah.
essentially. So anything that was left over had to go in the garbage. You couldn't take it, which, again, might be industry standard. I'm not positive. But
I'm not sure, dude, but in a realm like that, dude, I would rather just give it to attendees. Hey, you guys want dinner or something?
Right.
Take the food. Like, don't.
Another big thing for me was the damn service fee. $300 in a service fee when you're already charging, I don't remember what that was. Was it $20 a plate? Nah, I think it was a little just less.
Yeah,
than,
if between breakfast and lunch, it was a little over 20 plate.
yeah. And you're dumping a $300 service fee on top
Right.
of that. For,
Yeah, no, it's definitely
Wait.
true.
$20 a plate for donuts, fruit, a sandwich, an apple, and a bag of chips.
Mhm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I tell you what, though, those sandwiches were fucking.
They
bomb.
were good.
Dude, usually you don't get good sandwiches. Usually they put like a couple slices. They usually have like Kraft cheese, right? So
Mhm.
like it's fake. There's like real cheese, a bunch of like it was a thick stack of roast beef. I was like,
Right.
dude, this is like a healthy sandwich, dude. And they had pickles, dude. When you put pickles, I'm like, damn, dude, you are fucking talking.
You
to
earned
me.
your $20.
Yeah, dude. I will say, I was very nervous paying that kind of money for a sandwich, but they pulled through.
It was good.
I'll be honest with you, dude. They pulled through on that.
See
Sam's
what
like, whatever. They should have been serving us caviar, bitches.
The sandwiches at Rob's event, Vertical Union, was way better.
Yeah, it's
Plus,
true.
we got cheesecake.
Oh my god, dude! They had individual cheesecake for everyone.
And there was so much cheesecake left over, too.
I wonder what happened to that cheesecake.
I don't know.
I wish
Probably
I
went to
could-
all the dancers. Remember, because there's that dance thing going
That's
on
right,
in
yeah.
the next building or the next section or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
Um,
I wouldn't do it there. Which hopefully, like, I don't know. It's just so hard to find venues like that in Eau Claire. I mean, you could try the Lismore.
Oh, it's pretty big though. Yeah, we could.
And
AJ. Anyways.
Okay.
Mm,
They have really good walk-in tacos. I'll tell you that.
yeah.
We got those ones.
Anyways.
But yeah, there's not very many event spaces like that in Eau Claire, at least.
So one that might be an option if we keep it in Eau Claire, we talked about maybe going more central of center of the state.
Yeah.
But if Eau Claire, the VSA might be an option.
Oh, they do events like that.
Dude.
Yeah,
I didn't
'cause there's-
think of that.
They're doing their second stage of build.
Yeah.
Should be starting soon if it didn't already start. And that venue's supposed to be huge, but I think you can rent out some of the smaller spaces.
That's
Well,
cool.
and what's nice about that is if we do it at VSA, then we can use Hazelwander's hotels,
Mhm.
the Residence Inn and the Fairfield.
Yeah. So they have to figure out catering.
Marriott's.
Because I don't.
Mm.
Well, I know they're eventually going to have catering and stuff. Just
VSA?
yeah,
Yeah.
because they're going to have basically that arena's meant to. I don't remember if it's how many thousands it's supposed to seat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If they allow us to bring in our own catering, we could definitely pull some shit together, figure some stuff out.
So we could even just do a bunch of pork butts and
Dude,
call it a day.
and cereal.
Never again.
Dude, we did that
No?
for our
Yeah.
wedding reception shit show.
Never again.
Absolutely. It's just because we never cooked at that quantity.
Yeah.
I remember when we were, for my graduation, we slaughtered a hog and put it on a spigot,
Pig roast.
pig roast, and roasted it. And we also, I think we killed a fawn. And we did the same thing because it's tender. Anyways,
You have to edit that part out. Huh?
anyways, and we slow roasted that too on a spigot.
Cool.
That might have been for a different event. I just remembered we did that, and it was so freaking good because it was so tender. But I mean, it wasn't like a fawn; it was like a yearling.
Okay, just continue with this.
You know what I'm saying?
It
But anyways,
didn't have spots anymore.
no, the
Good.
spots were gone.
Good job.
But anyways, once you when you did it that way, it seriously was just bringing it and pulling it and putting it in roasters.
Yeah.
Compared to having to like smoke them all, such a different thing. Oh no, so that was for the fall before we did an event that we did that. We did chickens. We did the same thing, slow roast, like 24 chickens and a pig. Did I tell you what? Growing up in the country, motherfuckers just do shit like that, and they're just like, "Well, it's just a Saturday afternoon." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
It's just their life out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
None of your aunts and uncles do that anymore, do they?
Not really, dude.
Mm-hmm. They do make lots of food, though.
They make lots of food.
So good.
Things change. Yeah, it was always my dad was always doing that shit, and then our neighbor John was always doing it.
Well, we need to get your dad back here,
I
so
know.
then he can do that shit again.
I know it.
Hey, I know you got the Blackstone out there. When you gonna step your game up and get a big green egg?
I did.
No.
I was actually talking about getting a smoker though.
No.
Like real
Big
talk.
green egg.
You're never going to do it.
Why?
Why, babe?
Because he barely cooks on that thing anyways.
I cook on it like
Twice a week for sure.
twice a week minimum.
That's pretty good.
That's more, and that's year round. I don't take winters off. I'm out fucking 0 degrees in my goddamn t-shirt making freaking food all winter long on that Blackstone.
Yeah, I think you get the big green egg. I like, my father-in-law asked us, "Do you want a big green egg for our wedding gift?" I was like, "What the fuck? What is a big green egg?" So we were at Springfest in Chippewa, and the swim rate was there, and they had a bunch on display, and I was like, "Oh, kind of cool, whatever." Looked at the price thing. I was like, "Are you shitting me? $1,300 for a grill?"
Yeah.
Here's the thing: we've had that thing. August will be 10 years that we've been married, and they gave it to us early. They gave us it in the spring. Had that thing 10 years. Had to replace the gasket on it because it has a gasket to help seal it up. It's like a wood stove gasket, whatever. That's it. Thing was brand new.
When you think about that,
Right.
I've gone through so I've been down in Eau Claire for 10 years now.
You've already spent that much on grills.
Dude, I've ripped through, I bet you 5, maybe 6 grills.
Mm-hmm.
Because they only last like 3 years.
Yeah.
And
so rusty.
And then like some of them are like, anyways, if you factor in the amount I've spent, I bet you I spent $1,000 on grills.
Mm-hmm.
And I've only got the Blackstone left.
Mm-hmm.
And so like,
And the Blackstone was a steal.
yeah, we got that for a good deal, and we just beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, you do not take care of that thing.
Hell no. But it's because we got it for a good deal. I was like, who cares? If I had to pay what they make you pay for those things, I'd baby that bitch.
Why don't you baby it, and then it'll last forever, so then you don't have to pay that price?
Durability tester.
Gotta test it, babe.
Dude, Shaun's a durability tester. Oh,
I'd test out a big green egg, dude.
Not
You would
coming out of
not.
my money.
You would not be disappointed.
I believe it. Do you smoke on it?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's cool, man. That's cool. Is it like charcoal, or what do you use?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, natural charcoal. So not the
not the black
little
shit.
brisket, whatever they're called, the little ones. No. Natural wood clump. Oh, it's good.
That's cool, dude.
Anyways.
Anyways, back to REI-Con. Fuck.
Yeah, what else do you guys need to improve on?
Oh, we got a big list, but
So, I know. So we talked about you and I doing like a Q&A. We talked about possibly doing breakouts,
Mm-hmm.
breakout groups. And one thing I thought about the breakout groups, and I kind of talked to Sam, is since we got so many compliments on keeping a theme, it kind of goes like into like social media and shit too. It's less about your following and more about your engagement. And so if we like try to follow themes every year and do a different theme, then it would be a lot easier to do breakout groups. So like you and I talked, AJ, about doing an IRA, so a self-directed IRA matched with syndication for a full day of IRA. Actually, we talked about doing it for 2 days. IRA and syndication talking, and you'd pull into a complete different crowd than we had at this last one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But by keeping it niched like that, you might get a lot more engagement instead of having, because people at there, like maybe a couple of them were interested in syndication, but could you imagine having Edwin come talk and Mike come talk and stuff, and it be to that group? Like it's falling on dead ears. Where if we tailored it, we could get and have different breakout groups.
So what you get with that, I think, is you get a lot of people interested. Like, oh, that sounds cool. Which it does.
Yeah.
Right? But as far as like, oh, I'm gonna take that step, it just sounds cool. They're not gonna actually take that step.
Yep.
So you talked about actually having him come and speak, a bunch of other people too. Maybe even having a deal that people could unlock their money, put into a deal right off the bat.
I think if you were to do an event like that, you should. Whether we partner with Mike on it or something, like there should be some sort of deal that we are bringing everyone together for.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was crazy talking to Edwin. So we went out to breakfast after our last Wisco REI meeting. And he does a lot of that. Like he travels around, and like some of the names he was telling me that he's done events for. I was like, holy crap. Mm-hmm. But he'll literally go and unlock $5 million out of people's IRAs. You know, they're getting a way better return than what it's currently getting. But literally that's what they'll do is they'll just talk about it, talk about what you have going right now, and then all of a sudden he'll go up there and pitch, hey, we can unlock open your accounts right now. Basically meet us in the back. And he said it's not uncommon to have events where it's $5 million unlocked.
That's crazy.
At an event.
That's crazy.
Biggest thing with that, I think if you're going to do that, you need to have literally stuff lined up. Because if you unlock people's money, all of a sudden you do one deal and then it just ends up sitting there. It's not very good. So you got to literally have deal after deal after deal ready to go, or other channels to send them.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah, they're other people you work with or something. But yeah, I mean, that was what was cool about the syndication shit with Mike. If you find funders for Mike, you get a cut. Mm-hmm. And so, like, if we bring him $1 million, even it doesn't have to be our mill. If we bring him 10 people who all have $100,000, we get a chunk of that pie. And he says it might only be like 5%, but dude, if you bring all that, you have no money and you get 5%.
Right.
Fuck, dude. You're talking about like a $10 million deal. You got 5% of.
Right.
Rough life.
So a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the private money guys, like even the people we know, that's not their money. They don't have money just sitting in there. They're literally utilizing other people's money to make that happen. So they're syndicating deals. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's just they network enough and have people that have the funds that need to get used up.
Yeah. Well, my mom actually came over and talked to me about that last week. This week. What day is it?
Thursday.
Someday. She stopped in time. And but she asked me about it, about like Edwin and whatnot, and she's like, so can you and Kyle use my money? And I'm like, yep. Fuck yeah. And
Did you reach out to him?
No, I'm going to though. I started reading his thing. I didn't want to just reach out to him and not have read the material he gave me, which I could, but I read through a bunch of his stuff already. And what she'd be doing is funding our flips, and that's right in there. So we can definitely do that.
Yeah. So they'd just be the custodians of it.
Yeah, yep.
So find out what the transaction fees are, all that. It's really a no-brainer.
Oh, dude, I told my mom, I was like, I can't promise you crazy returns, but I was like, I can get you a minimum of 10 a year. I can get you 10% return every year easy.
Right.
And so I was like, I might not be much more than that, but like we can average 10 every year minimum.
It's pretty solid return.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just keeps snowballing because she's not pulling money out of it. She's
right.
not pulling the profits out. It's a hell of a lot faster way to build it than any other way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I don't know what the doubling is, but it's only like 6 years or 7 years for a doubling then, because you get to keep reinvesting that money. Mm-hmm. So because that's like I listen to some of the biggest. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I listen to some of the biggest like investors out there, and they're like, don't think about your money and your return. Think about how often you can double it.
Mm-hmm. Like that, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like their goal is like they try to double their money, like to start out when you have like nothing. When you're starting out, they try to double it in a year. Then they try to double it in 2 years. Then they try to double it in 4 years, and then they try to double it in 6 years. You know. And so like as they like step up that thing, they're like time horizon increases because now they're talking about like doubling $100 million.
Right.
And they're like, oh, it might be over a little more period of time than it was to double $100 grand.
Yeah.
Because you could keep doing that once she retires too, right? Like as long as she has money in that account, you can keep going.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure what age the tax burden ends up going away if you have to start pulling out of it.
I don't know that answer.
But at a certain age, you pull out of it and zero penalty, zero.
Mm-hmm.
Good to go. It's retirement.
Isn't it like 67 now or something?
I don't think so. To pull out of a.
Dude, one thing I really liked that Edwin talked about, and then we'll get back to REI-Con, goddamn, is the 403B he was talking about. And I don't know if a lot of people, let me say this, probably less than 1% of people know this with like that 403B. That is 403B Roth. It was a Roth 403B, right? That you can borrow on at an interest rate.
Yeah.
That is market standard interest rate. And so like, and you can borrow, they said for any asset. And my ass is over here like, fuck, dude. If I had money tied up in a deal, like say I wanted to buy a multifam or something, right? And I got money tied up in a deal, but then there's a flip or something that I want, or, there's something I want. I can just borrow that shit out of my retirement account for 8%.
Right.
And that 8% gets paid to my account.
Right.
I'm like, bro,
yeah.
I can give myself an 8% return.
Yeah. So a lot of your whole life can work like that too if it's structured properly. So, I mean, there's a lot of people don't realize that, like, 8%. Well, yeah, where's that 8% going? Your 8% is coming right back to you.
Yeah.
You're not paying 8% to anything else. It's coming back to you. So.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I think it has to be a Roth 401k or a Roth 403b. Yeah, go for it. Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Down. You'll find it. Mimi will show you. All right, what do we got?
Well, do you want to talk? Well, it's 42 minutes. We probably should not go too in depth.
We'll get back on track. We'll chat for a few.
Yeah.
It's not. We don't want to go too late.
Yeah.
We'll go for another 15 or so.
I just figured we could do some highlights for each speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if you wanted to, I don't know, we could talk about other things.
We did highlight speaker stuff though last time we were on, for me at least.
Yeah.
So we kind of got that one. If you guys are interested in listening to that, what episode was that?
The last tutor episode.
Was it?
180.
Oh, yeah, it was like 180 something. Let me look it up for you guys. Sorry.
186.
186, is that what it is?
I think so.
You sure?
No clue.
100%?
No, 187.
You sure?
Yes.
I gotta find out Tutors of Life even.
If I had my phone, I could.
Dude, so chips and caviar.
Yeah. How good is it?
It's pretty good. But what they did is they have a theme song. Mm-hmm. Chips and caviar. Anyways, so every time I see their little logo, Chips and Caviar,
you just hear the song.
The song plays in my brain. I'm like, those motherfucking geniuses.
That's hilarious. 187.
187. Our thoughts billion.
Wait, it was a long time ago.
Wait, no, hold on. Boom, 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 boom.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know which one it is, guys, but it's one of them.
Yep.
Anyways, it's, yeah. So, back to REI-Con. Another thing was our biggest takeaway. Number one takeaway, a lot more marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marketing. I don't know if we need to do more marketing. It's just a matter of when we started our marketing.
Yes, sir.
Time of year.
Yeah.
Like April. Again, our biggest thing was let's just get one under our belt. I had a big lofty goal of 100. Then I was like, well, shit. We average 30 to 40 on an event, monthly event. Aim for 200, which really, if you think about it, shouldn't be that hard.
No.
Nothing like if you think about the whole Wisco-REA, it shouldn't have been.
Yeah. So we actually had an owner's call today, and we talked a little bit about that. And
Sweet.
They were like, really supportive. Like, hey, let's get to the other events, promote it, build it. And I was like, yeah, I didn't do a very good job with keeping everyone else on board because we were literally trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So how do you get everyone else involved when we're trying to struggle through it and build through it, which will be easier here on out. But I think April was not a great month.
No.
Spring was kind of here and then went away, and now it's back again. But
yeah,
we were lucky. It turned out to be a shitty day because there was I know there's 8 people in that room who weren't going to show up if it was nice out. And I was like, holy man, thank God it ended up being nice out.
They're bad.
Not nice.
Oh, yeah, thank God it ended up being shitty out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yeah, so I think February would be a much better month. Right?
Yeah.
You're kind of over the holidays.
Most people are
What do you have?
not on vacation.
Yeah. Spring break's not here yet.
Yeah. I think February is the best month.
Yeah.
Ooh. We're going to have to really think about design next year for
Yeah, Sam and I are going to take a big trip in February, so we're just going to have to figure out the...
dates.
Or we'll do end of January, and who cares? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's something that we should meet with Paul next week and then hammer out a date of when we want to do it. Or maybe do a call, put it into the group checks with everyone for Wisco.
Yeah.
And see what everyone likes for a weekend. And then at least get that in place, and we can do a location TBD. But at least to get that date out and get that started, so like you said, we can go around all the REIAs and promote it.
Yeah, I think location matters, obviously. But if it's going to be mainly members, it doesn't matter as much. I think I do like the idea of Central. I do also like the idea of keeping it Eau Claire, just because it's
Your thing?
our city, right? Just to keep it here.
Dude, it is Eau Claire. We could fucking make it work here.
Yeah.
It's us.
Right.
We could do it.
Yeah. I mean, you do have Hudson nearby. You have Wausau. You have... What's the other group?
Sheboygan is not close.
No, never mind.
Yeah,
Appleton,
Madison, you're getting a ways away, but
Yeah, I did talk to a lady for a little bit from Madison,
Yeah.
and she said she likes bigger events like that because then it makes the 3-hour drive worth it for her. And I was like, oh, yeah, I suppose. And she's like, I want to go to all the Wisco-REA meetings, but just the drive isn't worth it for a couple hours. And I was like, I totally understand.
Yep, and especially, most of our events that are big speakers, we're trying to get them to go to every event. So then it really does not make sense at all. But there are some, with the way the rotation works, they can't make all the events. So then...
And some people do get standalone speakers that you're like, oh, fuck, it'd be really nice to go on this.
Yeah, the one last night.
Yeah.
No, it's the night before.
Yeah.
Wednesday night, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Was phenomenal, I guess. Really good feedback on that, and suggested that everyone have them at their location. So it's something to talk about.
Sweet. Yeah, I really need to get fucking my business figured out so I can go to more. I need to go to more. Networking's so damn important.
It is. Yeah, and it's, it's always like the drive, the 3-4 hour drive to the other locations. It's like, then you get there and it's like, yep, definitely glad I made it. Because I've had private money because hard money, just because of networking.
Absolutely. Well,
it's not open unless you go meet the people.
Just because when Ryan and I went over there and met Jason Lund, he gave us his number, and then we were able to give him a call and ask him how to structure a couple deals. And I was like, holy fuck, dude, was that worth the drive?
Right.
So there's so much more. There's so much shit you can benefit from doing all that.
Yep.
So, and even Deb Sorensen,
Seminar.
The lender?
Seminar,
I think, yeah. She does 30-year mortgages on
Right.
commercial properties.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, who's doing that? Debbie.
Yeah, not much around us, and you hear about it in some other areas, but yeah, and she's reached out to me. She'd do anything in the state. So
Dude, she sent me a couple things. I remember when I like had deals going on, and she like sent me a couple things, and I was like, God damn it, why didn't I go with her? Like, that's better rate, 30-year. I'm like, what am I doing?
right.
What am I dumbass doing?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to obviously know what your profit and losses are going to be when you have that locked in.
Dude, 30-year.
You gotta think about every 3 to 7 years or whatever your adjustable.
I wonder if she does portfolio. She's got to do portfolio lending.
Let's reach out to her.
Yes,
She's pretty
I'll
quick.
chat with her again. Okay, so what else? Anything else for feedback we got? Not to be next to go-karts.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
I got lots of people asking about where's the coffee.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there was a couple people pretty pissed about the coffee thing.
Yeah. So then
I
they went
probably
to the
shouldn't have been
lobby.
filling my big mug up every time. Huh?
You know, you're hosting it, dude. You need to stay energized.
Yeah, there was people going to the lobby getting the coffee from the lobby for free.
Works.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have had to though, because
Right.
I think we ordered a gallon and a half.
Oh, we want more than that, I thought. And man, I don't know, whatever we ordered, and then I told the lady, I was just like, just keep filling it and just
Right.
charge us. Like,
Right, that's what they said they'd do. So it's kind of disappointing they took it away.
Yeah.
But again, another lesson learned.
absolutely.
Overall, man, I was just not to toot our own horn, but I think it went smooth. Obviously, there's massive room for improvement, but to have an event go like that, and how many times did we hear, even from some of the speakers, I think, about, or other people too, even just asking about how many events we've done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All the events, like I was the first one, I'm like, what?
Uh-huh.
Like, surprised that was our first all the event because it went
No,
really
absolutely.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude. It was like 3 p.m. I walk over to Sam. I was like, how haven't we fucked anything up yet? It was like right before Dan had to go on. So maybe it was like 2:30 or something. I was like, nothing's fucked up yet. This is crazy.
Right.
And then it didn't. Like, it just went
Yeah,
good.
a lot of that, I mean, it had nothing to do with us. Maybe the planning ahead of time, but literally Paul miking everyone up and like
Dude,
taking care of all the slides, all
Yeah.
of that. And let me just say, I thought I was the only one that waited to do slides till the last damn minute. I don't know that we had a single speaker get us the slides ahead of time, even though we asked.
I think Audrey did.
Well, that would make sense. Yeah.
Audrey did, yeah.
Audrey.
Audrey's on her shit.
Yeah. Everyone else was like, I think some people are just still finishing them up, which maybe is good because I don't know, maybe they changed some of the shit in their slide accordingly, but you couldn't tell. Not like anyone's presentation was garbage. I think Dan was phenomenal. I was kind of blown away by. I was blown away by everyone, but his was very good.
Oh yeah.
Because you had so what got me with Mark's, because we've listened to Mark talk before, and Mark talked, dude, when Mark came and we said hi to Mark, I was so in the zone of the day, I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, oh, hey Mark, thanks for coming, nice to meet you. He's like, I know you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
fuck, yeah, my bad. Like, I was just so, as soon as like he walks up for his thing, I'm just like, my light bulb went off. I'm like, oh my God, dude, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I felt like a dick. But when Mark said something that like unlocked my brain, there's like the I, we, they.
Right.
So I is 10% of like 10% help, 90% you do everything. And then we is 50-50. So 50% you use people, 50% you do everything. And then they, 90% is everybody else, 10% is you. And I was like, holy shit. And then when Dan went into his, you either work in the business, you work on the business, he's like, or you work above the business.
Yeah. Right. So I've always used
Holy shit.
I've always used the term, work on your business, not in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Then you turn around and add the whole next level, like work above your business.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, that's a whole new level.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm trying to get on. I'm trying to work on it.
Right.
Working above it. I literally, right after that, like I wrote down, I changed my fucking goals after listening to Dan. Because I was like, I'm not.
To Dan?
After listening to Dan's talk.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, when he said work above.
Yeah, I like changed my shit. I was
Got
like, I'm not on my business. I'm above my business. That's my new goal.
Yeah.
Like, that's sick as shit.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, just like the whole thing too with SOPs, like having an SOP, or even some people do flow charts, which I think would be huge as an agent to have a flow chart, especially as building a team to where this happens, this is the process you take. Like lay it out. Not that people are dumb, but it's just when you run a business or a team, your whole team should be doing the same processes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's literally, that's why I know some people hate Quick Trip, right? Because there's one every other block. But what are you getting when you go into Quick Trip?
The same thing.
The same exact thing. It's all laid out the same. It's just, it's cookie cutter it is. You have good service. People are always nice. Layouts are all the same.
It's so, dude, to have that familiarity and like with everything is huge.
One thing that just triggered is I was just talking to someone about Aldi, and I was saying how I love the Lake Cali Aldi way better than the Eau Claire one, and I get so mad every time we go to the Eau Claire one because it's not laid out as the same as the Hallie one.
Yeah.
So it angers me every time I go there because I'm like, oh, like this is where my thing is supposed to be, and it's not where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, even like you can apply that to literally anything.
And a lot of going back to Quick Trip, which they like the tobacco outlets.
Yeah.
Those are Quick Trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that didn't make the cut, right? They didn't have enough kitchen space. They couldn't provide the same service as the others. So they made those all tobacco outlets.
Isn't that crazy?
So it's like they still serve a purpose, right? But they didn't fit the model of what they wanted Quick Trip, which is kind of cool.
Just random fact. I think it's like Illinois that Quick Trips are Quick Stars.
Yeah.
Anyways, random fact.
Cool. Anything else on REI-Con?
It went so good, you guys. You guys did a great job.
Thanks.
Just your monotone.
Toot our horn a little more.
All right. We'll do it better with the monotone. But, one thing we talked about too is like doing a logo, making REI-Con, like, might even need to make that our logo. I don't know if you can register that somehow or.
Oh yeah, because Sam and I talked about getting a landing page right away. So getting a landing page so we can get that date done, so we can get that all
I've been looking at website names for you guys.
Yeah, we pulled some off GoDaddy just to look, but we should get that. That should be one of the first things because then we can start, just create that landing page, that traffic getting to a little bit.
It'd be just so cool too if you get to the point where you like give everyone notebooks, pens, fancy-ass lanyards.
We'll get there.
Someday.
Yeah, but obviously you can't do that for free. So this one was like literally, how can we provide value to people? And we did it as a membership drive, which worked.
Yes.
And some people didn't. I think would we have 6 or 7 people just pay the $99 fee, which really helped us almost cover all the expense of the event with that and sponsorship. But literally, I don't even want to know what we tracked for hours.
Oh yeah.
And we'll do more this year.
Yeah. So I guess like the last thing with it, we need to charge money. So charging for the event.
Which that was something we discussed like right after you guys announced it and that it was going to be free for members. And I was like, oh, Shaun, no.
Yeah. Which, for when you have the buy-in, now it actually, like, people just don't appreciate shit that's free.
No.
If it's free, I'll just register if I don't make it, which, what do we have, 15, 20 people that registered and didn't show up?
I think it was 13 at the end. 13 out of 52? I mean, it's almost a quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot.
What did we end up with total? Was it 70? That actually
I think it was like high 50s.
Yeah, I think it was high 50s.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, high 50s, I think.
Because I think if you counted the people that didn't show up, then it would have been like 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was like high 50s, and then with like us and the speakers and shit, we were probably in the 60s. But
yeah.
I guess the other thing I took away from it, and I don't remember who I was talking to. I think you were there when I was talking to him. Like, gosh, it would have been nice to get at least 100.
Yeah.
But then the question is, why?
Yeah. I think that was Mark who said that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
The question is why. well. And really, it was just an ego.
Yeah,
Like, it's like
that's it.
puff your chest up. Oh, we got 100 people, 200 people at our event. But do you provide the same value? Which I think you could with 100, maybe even 200. You could.
Yeah.
But that was something like, that's a good point.
Yeah, you get too big,
Mm-hmm.
you lose value.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's like a big draw for some of these events where they have like random speakers. Like look like Grant Cardone's 10X, dude.
Right.
You have such these huge, massive speakers, and it's all just a hype show.
Mm-hmm.
So what value is actually getting provided? Like you're getting a hype and you're getting like to listen to a speaker.
Right.
But an all-day event where you're meeting peers, networking, possibly doing breakouts, learning in depth on something.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to get more than 100, 200 people. In some rooms, you're not even going to get that.
Right. So I loved our engagement. That was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like people speaking with sponsors, then also speakers talking with people that were attending.
Yeah.
All that. It was like, and even speakers talking to speakers.
Yeah.
I thought we had great engagement.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
And again, maybe at 200 you lose some of that.
That's possible.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so let's think about the other events we've gone to.
Yeah.
Which one would you have preferred? Because we went to one that was what, like
2,000 people. Is that what you're saying?
was the other one 2,000 people?
It was like 2,000.
And then the other one was five.
No,
probably,
it was like 200.
Yeah.
It's like 200.
Which one did you take more away from?
Probably the 200 by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, and we were able to network so much easier at the 200 one too.
Yeah, it was so much easier, dude.
But that one also had like a pre-party the night before.
Yeah.
So that's what like gave us that idea. It was just such. It was like $99. You got to hang out in an airplane hangar, and they had snacks and drinks and all this stuff, and it was really nice. And it was a great place to like network with people. And all the speakers, well, some of the speakers were there. Not
Yeah,
all
like
of them.
half the speakers were there. It was just nice because like that's where you got to meet the people. So then when you're at the event the next day, you could grab like, hey guys, nice to see you again. We ended up grabbing dinner with one of the guys, and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really nice. And then that event also, the night of the event, after the event, they do the VIP thing with like all the speakers there, and then you pay. I mean, you pay a lot of money to.
That one's like $5,800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
they have, I mean, like top notch speakers that you can just hang out with one on one.
But even then, say we had all four of the speakers, and we go to the four speakers and we say, hey, we can give you each $2,000 for coming to the thing, but you're gonna be there all day, and then like afterwards, and then there'll be a group of people that'll come, and they'll maybe only 20 sign up, but they get to one-on-one chat with the four speakers on like how to better their business.
Yeah.
And so like in realms like that, you could be like, well, it would be way more than $2,000 at that point, because you're charging $1,000 to be in that room or whatever, $500. But anyways, let's wrap this beast up.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
No, that was good.
It was fun, and I'm glad we just decided to mention it. So I guess word of advice: if you're gonna do something, just say you're doing it, and then tell us when you do it, and you have to do it. Otherwise, you look like a piece of shit that didn't follow through.
I love it, dude. I love it. Yeah, all I gotta say is thank you for getting me out of my comfort zone, because god damn it, that was out of my comfort
Yeah, can I just
zone.
say that too? Like, it has been awesome, like having you on board. Like, I've really
Thanks, dude.
enjoyed, and obviously the people have enjoyed it too, because go from 20 being a great number for attendance to being anywhere from 30 to 50 in events, and it's been consistent now for a year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's been fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
Good.
Love the shit. And, someone actually, dude, ran to a guy, and he's like, hey, Shaun, good to see you again. I'm like, oh, hey, good to see you too. Don't remember him, right? He's like, man, I really hope I get to see you speak again. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, we used to speak a lot last year. You and AJ used to speak a lot. I'd like to hear you guys speak again. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. I was like, next month, I guess. You want to hear speak? We'll be there next month. And I was like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, so anyone local is listening, we do have, is it next Tuesday already?
Yeah.
Yeah, next Tuesday we'll be covering. Yeah, it is already. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Right?
We're going to be just doing a networking night, kind cash flow game night. If you haven't played that game, it's pretty fun. It's like Monopoly, but with property. We're going to be... Sam's not...
Sam
Not a
gets
fan?
fucking destroyed every time we play.
I do not.
Daddy's mastered the game.
I usually actually destroy Shaun in
Yeah,
the game.
okay.
I guess we'll find out
I bet,
Tuesday.
you, I bet you we still have all the papers.
We'll find out Tuesday. I'm throwing
right.
those papers away.
Starting fresh.
I think we've played that game like 10 times.
And then we're going to also unload a property that you just had an accepted offer on, right?
Yep. Gonna go over the numbers and dude, I
Do you have
love
pictures?
it. Of that? Yeah.
Like before, during, and after?
I do. Do I have them put together? Hell no.
We just throw it in a slide. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
What I love so much,
It's your realtor.
is my realtor AJ. Thank you very much, dude. You got us
I'm just kidding.
way more money than we were thinking we were gonna get for it.
But here's the thing. Look at that. We're going to go on 2 hours again. Here's the thing with that, though, is when we looked at it, right, you had me tour it with you,
Yeah.
give you numbers. Realistically, 180 to 190
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
What you got for it is, just all icing on the cake. Because the market would have shifted, then what?
Right. Well, and that's
Then you're getting 180, 190, thinking you're getting well over 2, and good job. So just running the numbers smart.
so that's exactly what I wanted to say, and what I love this group about, and what I loved about us doing that last year and going over like the contractors panel, the flip, walking through that property and stuff. Dude, people think getting into flipping is just like this cool shiny thing. They have no idea what it actually takes. And we base our numbers off that 180 because if something happened, we were like, yeah, 180 is a pretty safe mark that we'll hit. And so being able to like go in depth and show people, like when we walk through that, how many people are like, oh my God, it costs that much to redo a house?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, dude, it's a fucking, that one, that the theme was 50 to 70 grand to redo that property.
Yeah.
And we ended up finding some things hidden after we dug in. We found a couple things that were like, that's a 10 bill right there. We didn't know was there. And so that'll be fun to unpack with people too. Like, hey, the thing was, because you could have made it rentable for 20 grand. You could have rented it for 20 grand. You would have been a slumlord god. But then what we ended up rocking and rolling, we'll touch base and go over that. If you guys are interested, come to the event Tuesday. But yeah, for people to actually see, dude, that this shit ain't just like sunshine rainbows.
Mm-hmm.
This shit's real life.
Yeah.
And had we not, had there been a correction, we'd still make money at that 180, and that's what we need to get.
Right.
But dude, could you imagine if we based it off of what we got, and the market shifted, losing money city.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
So
be smart with your numbers. Don't
aim
a little, maybe hit big.
Yeah, seriously. Sick.
Cool.
All right.
That's all I
Gang,
got.
thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you.
Peace.
See ya.